Recording. Jesus Christ, I've been waiting. Welcome to Food Fitness Family. It is early as shit. It is me, Big Daddy Blankenship. I even still got my breathe right on this morning with Mr. Beautiful Marcus Gates, who did not wear his eye mask last night, so his eyes are puffy this morning.
No, they're just really itchy.
He still looks beautiful.
It's not pink eye, it's just allergies,
That's what he says.
but they are itchy.
He probably itched his butt and then itched his eye. And then
No, but it's weird. The past couple of years, my allergies just kind of gone up and down. They used to be like horrific. The last 2 years, they've been totally fine. I've even had to use like allergy medicine, and I can feel it getting back to old ways. And I think my allergies are going to spike back up again.
Maybe it's because you're getting older.
I don't know, man. It's winning waves. It's winning waves, but we'll see.
Why don't you take like Claritin or something?
I do. I mean, I have Zyrtec. I just started. I took my
Zyrtec,
first.
yeah.
Well, it's knockoff. It's like Sam's Club version of Zyrtec. It's the same compound.
Real stuff. Yeah.
It's the same compounds in there. It's just cheaper. No label. I always get my shit knockoff.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get diving on into it. You're freezing. What'd you say? Oh no, Caleb, what's wrong with your internet, dude? Is it your internet or is my internet? Your face is frozen. Oh my God. You're really dropping the ball over there.
Oh, you're back.
All right, there we go. I was just talking so much shit.
And you froze like this.
No, you froze like that.
Oh, I froze smiling too.
If you guys want to see Caleb's dumb face when he's frozen, you got to go to the YouTube to watch that.
Looks the same thing.
Well, perfect. You want to see both of our dumb faces, you got to go to the YouTube to watch that. Anywho, last 7 days though, let's go ahead and dive on into it. Pretty solid last 7 days in school, teaching PE, been playing kickball. I don't play it very often, so I've been balling out with that. It's been a good time. Had last Friday and Monday off, so that was also nice. Get caught up on some work. Was able to sign a couple clients this week, so that's been nice. One of which is my friend's mom, who kind of like a second or third mom than me growing up. So really excited to get to help her make healthy lifestyle changes. And I've got those programs to get knocked out today and tomorrow, and that's about it. How about yourself, brother?
Yeah, man, it's kind of been a whirlwind of a week. Max had 6 days off school, man. Holy shit. For those of you out there who are parents, 6 days? Like, cool that Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but like, damn, that gave us an extra day. Yeah, we had parent-teacher conferences and the weekend, and then fucking President's Day.
Yeah,
like
I don't even know what President's Day is,
bro. It's ridiculous. These kids don't even go to school anymore. They don't even go to school anymore. I'm serious.
You're lucky it hasn't snowed much this year.
Oh yeah, it's been awful. So I had that had an emotional one this weekend. I have an uncle back home who's not doing very well.
Sorry to hear
that. It's okay. It's life. Like he's man, gosh. I can't remember how old he is, but I want to say he's in his 50s. I'm probably completely wrong here. I cannot remember. I'm horrible with people's ages. He has a heart condition, so he's only had like 50% function of his heart his entire life.
Oh my God.
But it was like he's tired of fighting. We have a lot going on right now. He's like in dialysis, stuff like that. So I had an emotional phone call with him. That was kind of hard. But other than that, Tatiana's doing better. The baby's doing good. We're trying to get the house put together because we have a lot going on with like the new gym and everything. Like literally we'll have the gym opening, Max's birthday, baby shower, like everything within a couple months. So we're just trying to like get our shit together right now.
I know, yeah.
So it's not last minute. And then I actually I forgot about one. I signed 2 clients this week.
Nice.
And it was an extremely busy week. I probably set up like I had a reschedule yesterday. One today, one Monday. I probably have like 4 scheduled consults, and then I have a blood work consult. I had to get back with this guy on a time. So it's like I feel like spring's kind of here.
Yeah.
And things are really starting to pick up.
I was gonna say, I feel like the first few warm days here in Kansas City have helped kind of stimulate a little more of like oh shit, summer's actually gonna be here this year.
Yeah,
it's just like a surprise.
Yep. So I'm happy with, I'm just trying to keep my stuff in order. I have been, as my wife pointed out, I have been very enveloped in my phone this week. So I need to start being a little more
Yeah.
conscious of that. But as things happen, it's like phone calls come in. I have to get them emails.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I need to be better about not being in it all the time.
Yeah.
Because then it's like I'm in it so much that even when I don't have something to do, I'm just so used to being in it that I find myself still
Just on
picking
your
it up.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It's good to just have that, whatever that cutoff time looks like on any given
Yeah.
day. Like Sundays, if I can just leave my phone in the bedroom, like I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I try to do that, and I try like on like my phone goes into do not disturb every night at like 8:45.
Yeah.
But I find myself still picking it up. So
Yeah.
it's like I really need to make the effort to put it away.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
There was one more thing that I had that was we're Bubba has a field trip today, and Tutsi and I are chaperoning. So
Oh, sweet. Where you guys
I
going?
will Kaleidoscope
Oh, sweet.
Theater or
You
something
ever
like
been there?
that. No idea. No,
The Coterie Theater or the Kaleidoscope?
whatever one's in downtown. I think it's supposed to be like a kind of
There's
like a Science City type thing.
okay, yeah, it's party Kaleidoscope. It's cool. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, so I'll be with a whole kindergarten class all morning.
There you go.
So bear with me.
There you go.
And yeah, other than that, man, honestly, overall things are pretty good. Everything's are looking up in the right direction. I got some big things lined up. One of my new clients, like, he's very big in the business. I'm very blessed because he likes to show me like some of the back end stuff. So I feel very privileged to get to see things like start from the beginning. Or not, I mean, they're not in the beginning. He's been going a while, but like he brought me out to one of his new restaurants this week to he's gutting it, so I'm getting to like take like the paper towel dispensers and things like that he doesn't want that I can like reuse in the new gym. And it was cool to be able to like see what it looks like now,
Yeah.
and then see what it's going to look like later. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really fun. I feel very I don't want to say lucky, but like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just don't get to see that. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, that aspect. I love business. I know you love business too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we almost talk business more than we talk bodybuilding.
We do. We do.
Yeah, so it's like it's really exciting.
Well, especially because we're out of comp prep.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
comp prep.
Yeah, fuck that.
I miss it. I'm fat, so
I forgot to say that I've been sleeping like dog shit here recently. I don't know what is going on, but just like
me too.
Just waking up, and like as soon as I'm waking up, and I go through this at different times. But whether I'm thinking about a client or like somebody that has been struggling with their check-ins or something, or I'm thinking about, whatever I've got going on that day, as soon as I wake up, I'm just like ready to go. Cause usually I don't wake up till like 6:30, and I'm waking up like 4:30 and then struggling those last couple hours. So that's kind of sucked. Did you see my story yesterday on Instagram about what screwed up my sleep?
No, I don't watch your shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't watch
rude.
it.
No, man, I woke up at 4 a.m. To a dream that Noah Gray, the tight end for the Chiefs, and his mom signed up for my program. And so when I first woke up, for the first 20 minutes, it didn't register to me that was a dream. I just was like, all right, I got to send this out. Like I'm thinking about kind of what the program was. 20 fucking minutes laying in bed at 4:30 in the morning thinking about that. And then I dawned on me, that was a dream. I like checked my phone and went to my questionnaires and was like, oh shit, he never filled it out.
That's amazing.
I was so irritated. But anyway, so if you know Noah Gray, you listen to this. I said it on my story yesterday too. Go ahead and pass the message along that I'm willing to work with him. So send him my way. But let's dive into it. We got
I think it'd be more like he'd be willing to work with you.
Huh?
Yeah. I think it'd be more like
I know. But I want him to know I'm willing to have him on.
I see you have your favorite gym hoodie on.
Oh, fuck you.
Just saying, I got mine on too. Protest.
Like you can't see it in the camera. This is a podcast, bro. All right, we got a Q&A today. I'm talking about a few various topics. I don't know if we're gonna hit all the questions we got. We didn't get we got a handful of them that we want to kind of work through. You want to start with any of yours first, brother?
Yeah, we'll start with Liam's.
Okay, go.
What's the first step you guys would take when you have an overweight client who eats a low amount of food currently?
I feel like this is a lot of clients that come to me.
Yeah,
a lot.
Think so too.
Like probably half of my clients, this is probably them. For sure.
You want to start? You want me to start?
I can rock with it. I think we're gonna have similar answers.
Yeah, go
We don't
ahead.
need we don't need to go into the whole like domino effect of like, okay, what's their digestion and all that stuff. Let's just gonna act like this is just a normal person who's just under eating. And so ultimately what that person just needs is I'm going to start them off at if I know that they are eating like 1 or 2 meals a day, not getting many calories in at all, and they probably have some metabolic issues. I'm going to start them off low calories anyway, but definitely increase their protein intake. Make sure their composition of their food choices are a lot better than what they had been doing. And again, start them off on like a lower carb, lower fat diet than what I would normally start off somebody. But usually that person is already going to be full of shit just from eating more nutrient dense foods in throughout the day. Start there, and then usually um, we just start titrating things up slowly. And if I see weight start kind of coming off, I still might add a little bit of food into it. But ultimately, I want them to see big wins right off the bat anyway. So if we can see the scale going down just by adding just a little bit of food, see that rocking with it. But ultimately, it's about forming the mindset for that client that you're eating X amount of calories, and we need you to be eating more than X amount of calories. So we're gonna have to get you up there and explain the reasons why. But hopefully that person knows kind of coming in, it's not some short-term fix. If there's a short-term fix, then your constant under eating would have done the trick. And since it hasn't, we just got to gradually add food back in. And so getting them on board with that plan is, I think, the first step that I've got to make sure that I take care of. Otherwise, they're like, why the fuck are we adding food? Like, I came to you to lose weight. Just trust the process. You're probably going to lose weight during this time, but it's not going to be the rate is which you might want. But we've got to do this first phase of dieting in terms of eating a little bit more before we can dive into pulling any food away.
Yeah, people always want to lose weight at a way faster rate than what is possible. And unless you're like morbidly obese, it's just not going to happen.
No, yeah.
I'll take this from the side of, no metabolic issues or anything or gut related stuff. Um, let's say they come to me and, they're eating like 1,300 calories and not losing weight. I'm instantly going to start them at like 15 to 1,600. I'm going to raise their food right off the bat by a good margin. And I'm just going to talk to them and I'm going to explain why we're doing this. And, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
Hey, Max.
You say hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, Max. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Those are some cool headphones.
Go watch cartoons and I'll be there soon.
Okay. What you bring that?
I didn't bring anything.
What you get that?
Oh, that's from Disney. That's a gift for mom.
What's inside?
It's a surprise. I'll show
You got it for me?
you. It's for mommy.
Oh,
I love you.
I love you.
Mwah. Go watch cartoons.
Okay.
I'll take this from a side. Like I said, I'll raise their calories. And I'll just tell them, like, listen, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. You're not eating enough. We have to get these calories up. Now, this first week, you're going to be really full because it's more food than what you're used to. And honestly, I'm not even looking for you to lose weight. I'm looking for you not to gain weight, but you could gain weight. That is a very real potential here. But unless we get the food intake up, you're never going to lose weight. So it's like if we have to gain 1 or 2 pounds in the end game, then that's okay. And typically they understand, and it's like it's still hard for them. But that first week, if they come to you and they're eating, 300 calories more and they don't gain a single pound,
that's good.
Dude, that's awesome. Like
that's a win
scenario.
That's a giant win.
And then so depending on what they do that first week, let's say they don't lose anything, I'll let them sit there 1 more week. And then 99% of the time, they're going to start dropping that next week because that first week is hard. The second week, their body's a little more used to it. And then as they start dropping, I'll add a rice cake here, 50 grams of rice here. And I'll keep bumping until we're dropping. And then typically once I get them close to like 2,000 calories, then I'll give them a higher day to spike them even more. So that's typically what I like to do is just, if people aren't eating, they have to get to eating. And I used to like waste my time and like start really low. And now like I've got to a point where I just go straight into it. And it's not anything crazy. It's not like I'm taking it from 1,200 to 2,000. I know some people that do that.
Yeah.
who are extremely good, and I'm just not quite confident in my level to do that. But like I will start them 200 to 400 calories at
Yeah.
least higher than what they have been.
That makes sense. So the people that are coming to me generally have no idea how much they've been eating. And if I said, hey, go log your macros and tell me how much you've been eating, they're not going to know how to do that aspect anyway. So we're going to have to kind of teach that up. How do you, because like even with those clients where even if I start them off at like the baseline calories, maybe even what they say, like, hey, I'm eating 1200 calories. And let's say I start them at 1200 calories, just better food composition. They're like, hey, I can't even finish all my meals. Like I'm so full and I can't eat it. Do you get that pushback ever, or is it more like, hey, here's your plan, and then they go execute it? But I get that struggle of they're not even eating what's on the lowest amount of food I'm even willing to give them. And so then we have to, I just tell those people, I'm like, if you can only eat 3/4 of your meals, eat 3/4 of your meals and gradually add that in and gradually finish all those meals, gradually get to finishing the whole diet plan. I would love for them to just be like, this is what's on my plan. I'm gonna get this shit in, but I also don't want them to eat to the point where they just feel like they're gonna explode.
Yeah. So when I say 1,200 calories, like those are guesstimates.
They're
Like
just
most
yeah,
of the
they're
time
just
people
numbers.
don't know, but like when they tell me what they're eating in the day, I'm
You
able to
kind of
like
mentally figure it out.
guesstimate it. Yeah. Yeah, with that, like so to get around that, I'll typically start people lower on protein.
Makes
Um,
sense. So they're less satiated, but getting
they're
good
less
calories in.
satiated,
All
so
right,
I'm able to get the carbohydrates and fats in.
makes sense.
Because typically when people they run out of room, they're tired, like especially Gen Pop or anyone like that, they complain about protein first. They're like, how am I ever going to eat 130 grams of protein? And
When
I'm
I get
like,
that question, I'm like, hey, if you just follow a diet plan, you're gonna hit it.
it's real easy.
You don't have to do any mental work. It's all
Yeah.
out there for you. Just go eat all the food.
So if I start their protein a little lower, then I'll eventually work that up.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I try to do first, but I'll leave the protein low for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I feel like protein is kind of one of those things that like we, of course, like we need it and it's useful, but I feel like a lot of times it's overused and it's
Yeah.
overkill.
Yeah.
Uh,
It is.
and since I got, and I maybe I'm wrong because I'm not anything special in terms of like bodybuilding, but my protein intake has actually come down over the years. And I feel like I've been better because people will smash protein, but then they come to me and they're constant diarrhea, they're shitting their
Yeah.
brains out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because they're not assimilating all of it, or their
Yeah.
guts fucking blown up, or they're distended.
Yeah.
You know, the worst part is like when someone's like hella distended and they're like, yeah, I'm eating 10 ounces of meat per meal. It's like,
That's
well,
wild.
you're not digesting it. Like, look at your stomach.
Yeah.
You know, so let's back this down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. All right, cool. Move on to the next one.
next one.
All right. How to dial in dieting and training. This was another one of our Instagram questions. How to dial in dieting and training, how to stick to a program, et cetera, et cetera. Keeping motivation and staying hungry. So I'm assuming this person is saying that like, I'm not super motivated right now. I'm not hungry, whether it's in terms of like physically hungry or hungry as in like, I want results at the moment. And you're kind of just like you're about it, but really not about it at the moment. Well, number one, that's got to change. You might not be motivated, but if you've got goals that you want to reach, you've got to be hyper focused on those things. Especially when we're living busy lifestyles, kids and things like that. We've got to make sure that we're keeping that at the forefront of our mind, is what our goals are, and we have to prioritize that stuff. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So how to dial in dieting and training. What I always tell my clients with this is really how to do it. And again, this is from a client perspective. I say I have to have you checking in. If you do nothing else correct the rest of the week, I at least need you checking in, because that is an opportunity for you to be reflective, hold yourself accountable, and allow me to do the same thing. Allow me to, okay, you're not able to follow anything. Let's pull back the reins a little bit. Let's start with a few easy wins for you. Drinking X amount of water in the morning. It's not even that you're drinking a whole gallon. Just wake up and start the day with 20 ounces of water. So if you're doing absolutely nothing right, at least let's get some easy wins in there. But aside from that, like I had a client actually reached out to me about quitting after her first 6 months were up, and she's only at like month 3, like she's not that far into it, and she said, I'm just having a tough time with consistency. Like that was the reason why she wanted to not do it. And so my instant reaction is, well, then get fucking consistent. If that's the biggest issue, if it's not a financial issue, it's not this other thing. And she has other factors like she's got boys, like she's got teenage kids, like she has a busy life already. So I get that. But if that's the main component is that you're just not being consistent, then let's get fucking consistent.
Mhm.
Let's get systems in place. Let's get a little bit better organized. Even if you're not the most organized person ever, the most systematized person ever, you can get there. Again, it comes back to what are your priorities? And if that's high at the list, then you're going to kind of conquer it. What would you say?
Yeah, so someone like that, man, it's like with her, I would say, I don't need 100% from you because her 100
No.
is probably only like 80.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's all, and that's fine. We'll work
It's
around that.
totally fine. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dick this morning, but how to dial in diet and training. Um, this kid I know this kid, he's very nice, but he's tried to hire me like 3 times and he keeps backing out. So one would be just follow through. That'll help you.
Yeah.
How to stick to a program. Man, I don't know. You just follow it. You have to want it, keep you motivated, and staying hungry. I'll do hungry in 2 parts, but keep you motivated. Motivation is so fleeting.
Yep.
Like, do you think I wasn't
so many people rely on it too?
You know how unmotivated I was to wake up and record this podcast at 6:30 in the morning?
Bro, I wanted to text you to go fuck yourself. I don't want to get
up. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's like
we gotta give the listeners what they want.
Yeah.
And we have a vision. Like we want to be consistent.
Yeah.
we just like with dieting. We want to be consistent with this because we said we're gonna do this. So let's go ahead
and be consistent. So
give
it's
everything we can.
If we miss one week, we could miss another, then another, then another. We know what we want to do with this, so we have to be consistent and put in the time.
Yeah.
But that's why there's discipline over motivation.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, man. You either have to want it. Are you wanting it because you want to step on stage? I mean, I don't know if that's really going to be the long lasting thing, or are you wanting it because you want to like see bum, or are you wanting it because like you want to be better for yourself? I think that's where it's going to come.
Yeah.
As far as staying hungry, I mean, I think that kind of goes into what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just want it.
Yeah.
As far as staying hungry in the off season, keeping your cardio in, not, when people, I find when people coach themselves, they get too radical, and they add food too fast, or they take it away too fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've had clients before where I had it just a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, dude, why is your weight going so crazy on me? He's like, oh, I've just been hungry. So I've been eating like a lot of snacks and stuff. I'm like, stop. Like, dude, you are 4 months post show. You know how blessed you are that you are still hungry?
Yeah.
Like, we have nailed this. That's what that tells me. Because to be going into a year-long off season, maybe longer, and not be hungry 3 months in, I've been there. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're still hungry is great. So just controlling your food.
Yeah. And just knowing what your long-term vision of it and why that's important to you, and then just showing up each day ready to conquer it. And if you didn't conquer it yesterday, you got to put in more effort to conquer it today, so that you can start building that good momentum, building that discipline. I mean, it's all a mental game. All of this is a mental game. Waking up today to get on this is a mental game. Going to the gym, getting your food, meal prepping, carving out the time to go grocery shopping, all that shit's a mental game, much more than it's physical. All right, next question. What is our favorite thing about competition prep? You go.
Dude, being fucking peeled and liking the way I look.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's looking in the mirror, being proud of the way I look all season. I'm like, I'm fucking fat. I look disgusting.
I feel that way right now.
I got a Fuda, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just like being in shape and looking good. I mean, you don't feel good.
No. You look
but
good.
It's like, it's very shallow, but I like taking my shirt off and being in jeans, and like my wife thinks I'm hot all the time, but it's like when my abs are coming in and I'm shirtless in the kitchen with jeans and my boots, it's like a different level of
She literally said, she said that to me like a week or two ago. I don't even know what the context was and why that got brought up, but I forgot exactly what it was, but she said the exact same thing: jeans, boots, no shirt on.
Yeah, it's like, my wife is always like me and Tatiana, we're very lovey-dovey. But it's like when I'm like with something like that, it's like, I don't know. It's like she almost drools. It just it makes you feel good.
Yeah, no, fuck
self-esteem. You know what I mean?
So, everybody wants to be drooled over a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably my and then my least favorite thing is just fucking waking up early. God, I hate early mornings. I can't stand it. My life, I would like to wake up at 8:30, get my day going, and go to bed at like midnight. like that's
That's
where I
good.
thrive.
That's good. Yeah.
I don't know. How about you?
My favorite thing, I mean, I've always the physical parts of it, because that's, a big piece of it all. And I'm a vain person, not to like to a fault, but like I want to look good. I also want to separate myself from the pack. And I think that's kind of my answer is I love the discipline that it takes. I love, you know, I'm an ex-athlete, and so I don't have competition in my life anymore, other than playing with fifth graders at school. I have no competition in my life, so I've got to go search it out, and that's a time. And even though I am stepping on stage, I'm competing against everybody else, and I keep that in the forefront of my mind. Whenever I'm doing cardio, whenever I'm doing, workout, I'm thinking, I know I'm going to be stepping on stage and going against other people, and I'm using every day as that practice for it. But also, I like having to force myself to do shit that I don't want to do, and really just solidifying and carving out that discipline is always a good thing. But like I said kind of before, it's separating myself from the pack, whether it be as a coach or as an athlete. I want to be better than everybody else around me. And I don't mean that as a dick way. It's just my competitive spirit. And I love that. And so being in competition prep, I have that for 4 months, 6 months, whatever it is that I'm in comp prep for, or 7 weeks, whatever the hell we did last time.
Yeah, yeah. My other one that's probably not as vain is I like the mental fortitude aspect.
Yep.
I'm not
Discipline,
a
yeah.
good bodybuilder, but I like that. I like competing in other ways. Like I can
Yeah.
follow my diet longer than you. I can
Yeah.
be more consistent longer than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 2020, I went 28 weeks without a cheat meal.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like
And that's cool to say.
That's seven months.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what I
cool to
mean?
say, because that's separating you from, I mean,
And that started during
crazy amount of
shutdown
people.
when I was home by
Yeah.
myself. So it's
Yeah.
like, I like the mental fortitude aspect of that. So I like to
I
compete in
like
other
that.
ways. Like I can do this. I can go further. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, so
Yeah.
that's some of the stuff I
I
like.
like that. I like that. Did you have another question over there? I've got two more on
Yeah, this kind of came up yesterday. I want to know your opinion on it. So, because you're a big macros guy, and I had a client message me yesterday, and he could not stay under 60 grams of carbs, um, because of vegetables. And I don't track vegetables. I consider vegetables free food.
Yeah.
How do you feel, since you're a macro god? Do you
I'm not a
do
fucking
you
macro
track
guy.
vegetables?
I do track veggies. I don't eat a shit ton. I have, 3 servings or so of veggies a day, plus beans. But outside of that though, I do track veggies, but it's also not a big thing. If I go over on carbs because I ate a few more veggies, like assuming they're not like potatoes or some shit like that, like assuming it's a lower carb food, then yeah, go for it on that. It's okay if you go a little bit over on that if you're just eating more veggies. Like you said, you don't even track veggies into it. So I think that's a good approach as well. Nobody's ever gotten fat from eating too many fucking pieces of broccoli or
Yeah,
Brussels sprouts or
I feel
green
like it's
beans or
over. I feel like it's just overkill.
Yeah.
And essentially they don't technically matter, since the majority of them have fiber.
Yeah.
Now I do understand why they matter towards the end of a prep, if we're like really in the nitty gritty, like, hey, I'm gonna limit your veg intake.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a little over the top. And
I log it because I also log my fiber. I keep that
okay,
in mind. So I also want to see what is my fiber at. And another reason why I do that for my clients, well, because like on their diet plan, I'm not just like putting out their macros on things for each given food. I'm also including their sugar intake and their fiber, so they can really see the discrepancy of like, you were having 3 pops a day, which is like fucking 180 grams of sugar right off the bat, if not more than that.
yeah,
And now you're seeing, okay, here's what I should actually be eating.
yeah. And I don't really go that far. I really only count the food sources. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like macros that much, because he needed help helping his fat intake. So I was helping him out.
Yeah.
And I was like, throw some peanut butter on this. He's like, well, there's carbs in peanut butter. I'm like, yeah, there is. But it's like, that's why I feel like it's just overkill
It's just
sometimes,
a
because
minute amount.
it's a minute amount. And it's like,
I get that.
20 grams of peanut butter has, 10 grams of fat and like 1.5 carbs.
Yeah.
So I really just count, unless it's like beef, salmon, something that has a large amount of like others, like those have a good amount of fat in them.
Yeah.
I typically just count like protein from protein, carbs from carbs, fats from fats. Like I don't worry about all the other minute shit.
Yeah.
So like, your calories aren't 100%, honestly, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Just if you follow it and we're
Yeah.
consistent, then it doesn't matter.
That's the people that I have that struggle with MyFitnessPal or struggle doing it accurately. I have like an add-on service where like I'll go set up their entire MyFitnessPal with all their diet plan, foods on there, all of their like everything set up for them. So it's a little extra work, but a lot of my clients they need that little extra help with it. But even then, though, even I can send them as many videos as I want to, and some people just struggle figuring out MyFitnessPal or any macro tracking app like that.
Dude, I
Plus,
hate them. They're
well,
confusing.
well, it's also like the biggest issue with MyFitnessPal or any of those food tracking apps for the most part. And I haven't used a lot of the other ones, but it's like Wikipedia. Anybody can go on there and create a new food that has 1,000 grams of fat in it, even though it's a piece of chicken breast. Like you can put anything on there, and it's not checked by anything. So that's kind of my biggest issue with it. So I just say, hey, when you're looking up, cooked chicken breast, number one, you got to make sure you type in cooked because it could come up as raw, and now you're going to be off on what you're tracking. And that's usually one thing I see.
Skin, no skin, thigh, breast.
Yeah, exactly. Or rice. Or people will type in rice and they won't specify that it's cooked jasmine white rice or whatever the case is. So then they have a cup of dry rice that's logged on there and it's 4 times the amount of carbs.
Yeah.
So, or whatever. So
coming back at like 200 carbs.
Yeah. So there's so many different little nuances with it all that if you I always tell people, whatever you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. Learning how to track your macros to me is a life skill because it teaches you the value of the foods that you're eating. So if you can put in 2-3 weeks of consistency, take the 15 minutes a day to really figure it out. Take the 15 minutes when you're walking through a grocery store to kind of figure out how to log these different foods and stuff. And it will pay off in the long run. But and if you don't want to do that little extra work to really hone in that skill, that's fine. Just follow the damn diet plan. And then you just reduce a lot of stress and time. That's a good question.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. So how do you politely stick? Well, this is kind of a 2-parter. How do you politely stick to your diet plan when you have friends and family over for dinner?
I just do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm a dick. I just say, hey, honestly, once you do it a couple times, my family doesn't even question it. Yep. Is Caleb eating or is he gonna bring his own food?
Yeah.
Same. We'll be like, hey, Caleb starts prep in a month. So now when he comes, he's gonna have his own food every time.
Yeah.
Just
communication is a big piece of it.
If you could just explain to your family that you're trying to better your health and better your goals, and if they can't support that, then fuck them.
That's
what I mean. It's
that's
like
my answer to that question.
I know it's brutal, but it's like if you're doing this for you and you're gonna get fit shamed more than you will fat shamed.
Yeah.
Because now it's like America's so messed up that eating whole single ingredient foods is considered dieting when back in the day it was just considered eating.
Yeah.
So it's like it's okay, just do what you want, but like just be honest and say that these are the goals you're trying to hit and these are the changes you're making.
Yeah.
And if they can't support that, then man, they don't have to be in your life. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying go divorce your husband. No. But it's like, because it's going to be hard at first. If I would have tried to make this change before, like after Tati and I were together, it probably wouldn't have flew. It would have been hard.
Way harder. Yeah.
But like when you set the boundaries, it's like it goes that much easier.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm a huge component of communication in all areas of life. So that it should start with that, whether it's starting a program. Obviously, you got to have your wife or your husband or whatever on board, at least understanding and supportive of you. That's a big piece of it because like you said, if you start it down the road after you guys been together forever, that's difficulty. Same thing. We were talking about this with a client who fell off once she had a boyfriend, and it was like 6-7 months of just being totally off. If fitness was such a big part of her life, she needed to maintain that as that relationship started, so that then 7 months down the road, she's not all of a sudden becoming some different person.
Yeah.
A lot to communicate that.
A lot of time, and this would be something you could use, is that if I know they're married, I'll ask them what their support system's like.
That's part of my question. And everybody usually says they're supportive.
So you can kind of get ahead of it. No one's gonna be like, "Oh, my husband's a dick."
No,
you know what I mean, we find that out later, but it's like
I prefer to have like a couple. If you're in a relationship, I like to have the other person on if we can. If we can make it work pretty efficiently, getting on the call with that person. That way, I can just say, "Hey, this is what you can kind of expect. Here's how you can work this stuff together." Things like that. even though this is kind of off topic, but it's on the same topic. You mentioned it earlier, you know, about whole foods and healthy foods are now just considered diet foods. And I had a client, actually, she just started, and she's got back in, like, she started the day after she got back from a vacation or something like that. And she said, you know, Monday was obviously off because I was still on vacation when I came back. I wouldn't say it was a good diet day. And she even just said those words, diet day. And I was like, whoa. That's the first thing we got to change, is your thoughts on the food that you're eating right now. If you're looking at this as just diet food, that tells me that you think that you can just turn it on and off. You can be on diet. Exactly. You can be on diet. You can be off diet. I needed you to change your thinking and your perspective about the food that you're eating, because this is a lifestyle change. This is your new normal. It's not that you're eating diet food. You're eating food. This is what food is. This is what food that makes you feel good is. You're not on a diet. You can go eat whatever the fuck you want to eat, but this needs to be your consistent approach to things. Even if it's not this exact food, you're eating whole foods. You're eating proteins. You're eating good, healthy grains that are less processed. It's one ingredient type shit. That's what your meal should be consisting of more times than not. Whether that's 70%, 80%, 90%, depending on where you want to go with your goals. This is no longer a diet that you're doing. I even say that on everything. Like, this is no fad diet approach. This is no 6-week short-term fix. My commitment when you sign up is 6 months for a reason, because we are trying to build, you know, a life change here.
Yeah, I don't even put diet on their sheet. I just call it a meal template.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. But so to kind of answer that question, though, like if I have, I mean, if I had you and Tatiana over, it'd be different because we obviously all understand it. But if I was having a friend over, if I'm in comp prep, I'm honestly probably going to be making 2 meals. I'm going to have my own meal prep for myself, and then I'll make whatever I think would be tasty for all of them to eat. Or Nicole would do it, or whatever the case is. And that's just understood that I'm sitting down. I'm having you over, not because I'm going to make the tastiest food in the world. I'm having you over because I want to hang out. You know, I'm having you over to have that connection versus just what we're eating. Same thing if we're going out to eat. I'm going to eat something a little bit healthier, and I'm probably not going to have a drink. I'm probably just going to drink water because I'm here for the social engagement factor of it and not anything else. And if you just communicate that to the people you need to communicate it to, then that's all good.
Yeah, I feel like people think as soon as they eat healthy or they do this, they do that, they're not allowed to have fun or have social time.
Yeah. You have to have that. Otherwise, you're restricting one of the most pleasurable things in life, and that's just human interaction with people that you care about and love. So you've got to maintain that shit, but just communicate that. And if they want to eat, or what I do is I will figure out in my macros, okay, I want to have steak or salmon tonight. I want to have a bunch of rice. I want to have some garlic bread or whatever the case is. So I'll log that stuff ahead of time. So even though I'm eating the exact same meal they're eating, it's still a healthier based thing. And plus, I like the opportunity of showing some that might not be that healthy. Here's a healthy way to eat. It's tasty. It's enjoyable. It wasn't that hard to make. And then that could even, you know, snowball into them making healthy changes as well.
For sure. Sometimes I'll say, fuck it, and I'll just grill chicken and rice, and you all gonna eat the same shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're probably and most times whenever I've done that, and I'm sure in your same situation,
this is good.
They enjoy the food and they don't feel like dog shit afterwards. You know, so I like that. Any opportunity I can to kind of help somebody make those changes anyway, even if it's like that. The second kind of component to that, obviously, if I'm out of comp prep and I've been crushing it, if I want to use that as my cheat meal, I'll make whatever. I'm having my parents over tomorrow night. I'm making healthier, but still I'm making enchiladas when they come over. So there's gonna be a little bit of cheese in there. There's gonna be ground beef. There's gonna be enchilada sauce and tortillas and stuff like that. But I'm again figuring that into my macros and ahead of time, and I'm going to enjoy that meal as well. And even if I wasn't figuring into my macros, if it was just my cheat meal, I would eat whatever for that one meal and then get right back on track with all my other meals.
It's cultural appropriation.
Exactly. What?
It's cultural appropriation. You're racist. You can't make enchiladas.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm making enchiladas. I was like, I don't think I said anything fucked up. All right. Any other questions on your end before we get into our fun question?
What is your toxic trait as a coach or leader? Mr. Perfect over here. What do you do wrong?
Sometimes I struggle with, and I'm sure you do as well on this as well. A lot of our communication with our clients is over text, over messaging, stuff like that. And so sometimes when I'm being direct and really trying to emphasize a point, it could come across as I'm being a dick when ultimately you're not hearing the tone, you're not hearing the empathy in my voice and the way that I'm saying it. It's just coming out over text. You're just reading it bluntly. So that's kind of one of those issues. Sometimes if I need to enunciate something, I'll use all caps. I had one client who's actually one of my close friends, and he's like, dude, why'd you yell at me in my last check-in? Like, he was being serious. And I was like, I wasn't yelling. I used all caps to show that this was, like, we're reverse dieting. He was like, hey, I'm supposed to be gaining weight during this, right? And I was like, well, first off, I already explained to you that's not the goal. But I said that is weight gain is not the goal right now, like in all caps. And he took that as like I was angry about it. I was like, no, if I'm angry about it, I'll do all caps and I'll do exclamation points and I'll probably call you and dive in deeper into what it is if I'm actually really upset about something, which I've never been upset with a client check-in. It can be disappointing. It can be sad, but that doesn't mean I'm ever going to be upset with you.
Yeah, I don't like to use all caps sometimes, even on one word, because sometimes it makes me feel like I'm like talking to them like a child.
Yeah.
It is not the goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I like WhatsApp, because I can do a voice note so they can hear the tone of my voice.
That's true.
But sometimes if it's a text and it's like I have to be very direct, depending on what it is and who the person is, at the end I'll even be like, hey, this is not me trying to be a dick. Yep. This is just me saying this needs to happen.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
I do that.
I get
it.
I do
that same thing. I'll have to throw that caveat too sometimes.
My toxic trait, honestly, is that I had to talk about this with my team the other day, is that I get very passionate and I get very, I guess you can call it like aggressive. So like my passion comes off as aggression. So it's like I'll cuss a lot. It's like I'll raise my voice and it's almost like I'm mad at you, but I'm not, because like I get so into it that like sometimes talking about the gyms, I get so into it that like I've cried at my parents' table because I've been so fucking into what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just my passion.
That's awesome,
and I don't mean for it to come off as like aggression. But it's almost like probably a lot of us that listen to like Andy Frisella on his podcast. Like now, I'm not saying I'm anywhere near Andy Frisella. I'm not, but it's like sometimes my passion comes off as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yesterday, like we were talking about the gym, and I was like, my biggest fear is someone being unhappy working here. Like I want people to always fucking be happy working here because we're providing a good fucking place. And if you don't want to fucking be here, then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And Holly like looked at me and I was like, I don't mean it like that, but it's like, I was like, I hope no one ever quits because they're unhappy. But I was like, and I don't mean it. If you don't like it, then fuck you. I mean it like, if you don't like to be here, then I want you to leave. Because I don't want you to be here. If
I want people who are happy to be here.
If you're a member and you're unhappy, leave. Don't be here. And that's not because I'm mad at you and I want you to leave. It's because I don't want you to be somewhere that sucks out your good energy. Like you deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
So like when I say things like that, like
not to mention it affects everybody else. It brings down the culture, the climate, and energy of everybody else, even if it's just one person.
Yeah. So it's like I get really fucking into things and I'm super passionate about it and it comes off as aggression, but it's like I don't mean it like that.
Yeah. I get that as well. So I kind of similar things that we both kind of struggle with that stuff. I do a pretty good job of compartmentalizing. I actually just made a post about something similar the other day about when it hits me when I see somebody quit on themselves and like stop investing in themselves, and that usually it makes me really disappointed and sad. It makes me, even if I know it had nothing to do with what I did or what I could have done, I still reflect hard on like, fuck, how can I be better? And I think that's a good thing that I look at it that way, because it's made me better in the past. It's made me, see signs that, hey, this person might be kind of falling off a little bit, and try to get ahead of them quitting on themselves. But it's just, you can't help a person who just is ready and willing to just at a drop of a hat fucking quit on themselves. And
I agree.
That's tough. So I don't think that makes me a bad coach, but in terms of my own life, that's a toxic trait. I think that can kind of affect me sometimes.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Our last question. If you had a fight, and you said this the other day, if you had to fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck, which one would you take?
No, it's 100
duck-sized horses.
Oh yeah,
small horses.
God,
one giant duck. Yeah. All right. 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck.
Oh man,
I'm going with the 1 horse-sized duck.
I feel like I would take the 100.
They're small, but they still got hooves, dude.
I can kick the
Horses
shit
can
out,
still bite,
but I can kick the shit out of them.
but they're still gonna be dense. They're not duck weight. They're duck-sized horses. They're still gonna be fucking 25, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50-pound little guys running around.
Bro, I'm not you. Okay.
Oh
I'm
my
a man.
God.
I would kick the shit out of that horse.
How heavy is your dog? Granted, it's a pit bull.
50
but
pounds.
Exactly. Now imagine, and now he's obviously bigger than a duck, but still, even 25 pounds would
First
probably
of
be about
all,
that weight.
my dogs are ladies, so you apologize. Okay.
My bad, ladies.
You don't assume their gender. You didn't even ask. Okay.
Right.
Second of
a pit bull
all,
just looks like it. It just seems like it. It's got male
a
energy.
giant fucking duck, I feel like could rip my head off.
It's true. But it's only one duck that you got to just blow out its knee. One duck that you got to.
How are we gonna get to its knee when it has a 20-foot long neck?
I don't
It's gonna
know,
be like
bro.
fighting a fucking giraffe that can peck your face off.
Could you imagine actually seeing it? I think I'd be horrified both ways.
I'd be
I'd
horrified.
run from both. I'm not fighting either. That's my answer. I'm
And is
running
this
from
like,
both.
is this a mallard duck or is this a fucking goose?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Well, gooses aren't ducks, so it's not a goose.
Yeah, but people don't know that.
Yeah, mallard duck. I could take a picture of it and send it to my grandpa. He likes mallard ducks.
Yeah, I think I would take the little one.
Yeah, I think I have to see him first.
Because honestly, if I got too scared, I could just step on a chair and they can't even get to me.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
then I
100
could-
of them
and
though,
then
they knock over
And
that
then I
shit
could
pretty
use a
easy.
baseball bat and knock the fuck out.
No weapons. Because if we could have weapons, then I'd rather just go to work on one than
Why
100
can't
of
you
them.
have weapons? It's a fight.
Well,
Well, street rules.
No. Yeah, okay, can I use a gun on them?
Well, I mean that's street. I guess you could go that
All
route.
right. Well then I'm definitely going with the ducks or the
kind
horse-sized
of
duck.
cheating. I mean,
I'm
I'd
going
rather
with the
use a
horse-sized
pipe.
duck.
Yeah.
No, I'm just shooting that dude. If all rules, if military rules are a thing, I'm just dropping a nuke on him, and then I'm staying clean that day.
But if you drop a nuke, then you're gonna kill like thousands of
All right,
people.
motherfucker, not a nuke. I don't know military
Like, Jesus
terms.
Christ.
Whatever.
Mass murderer Marcus over here. That's his new name. Instead of Mr. Beautiful, it's mass murderer.
One more thing. The other day I was looking at pillowcases on Amazon because I just got a couple new pillows, and for some reason the pillowcases at Sam's Club are just stupid expensive. So I was looking at the reviews of it though, which I usually don't. And there's videos of people
Loving your
reviewing.
pillow.
Yeah, there was like 5 videos on this one, and it's just weird fucking people.
Yeah.
Just like laying on the pillow and like rubbing their head into it like it's a dog and being like, "Oh, I'm using the pillowcase." I'm like, that video didn't give me anything except I don't really want to buy this now. And
You
it was a
should make one
5-star
like that.
review.
You should make one like that.
One dude seemed like he thought that it was like his Tinder profile or something. Like he's making a video trying to get people to DM him. Is
Hell
what the
yeah.
video seemed like. And he's like using it and he's like showing a full body video of himself laying in his bed and trying to act cool, laying on the pillows. Like, people are fucking strange.
People are strange. I like reviews
I
for
wanna do
that
that.
reason.
I'm gonna start doing that. Whenever I'm bored, I'm not going to watch TV. I'm gonna go to Amazon reviews.
Sometimes me and Tatiana like to read the reviews of like her dresses.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Or like this one guy on my Carhartt jacket.
Yeah.
This guy was like pissy. Because he had like little man syndrome, you could just tell. And he was like, this sizing is way off. These are not true. I'm 5'8", 220, and I got a 2X, and I always wear a 2X, and this thing swallowed me. Bro, you're 5'8", 220. You're barely an L. Let alone
All right, first off,
2 X's in front
First
of
off,
it.
I'm 5'6" and like 170. I wear
And you
XL.
wear like a
I wear
small
XL half the
medium.
time.
You
I
don't
haven't-
wear an XL. You are fucking tiny.
All the shirts from your gym are XLs. Look at them all, except for the first trainer shirt you gave me, which is a large.
And that's why
All
when you
XLs.
come in, you look like you're in your
Fuck
sleepy
you.
time pajama shirt.
I'm ending the call right now.
It looks like Max when
I'm
put him
ending
in
the
bed
call.
in his
I gotta go to the bathroom, too.
I
I chugged coffee and water, and I gotta
poop. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta
poop.
go. All right.
All right. Hey, don't have little man syndrome.
I don't have it.
He's so buttered.
on a Carhartt review, I might, but that was actually me that made that review.
All right. Okay. Maybe he's an X.
All right. There you go.
Not 2X.
All right. I gotta go.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. You guys have a good week.
Are you pooping?
Yeah.
All right. I'll text you while I poop.
All right, I'll FaceTime you while I do. All right,
All
see you
right.
guys.
All right. See you, man.